Hi graphics card fans, I am the PC Expert Amateur and we're going to take a look at the Zalman ZM-VS2 graphics card anti-sag support. And I've seen something similar to this before, but this one's just a little bit different. But not terribly different from the one that I saw in the Antec P20C case that I reviewed. So this is the base, and this gets mounted onto here, and there are lots and lots of holes to choose from. And then you have some thumb screws, two different kinds. So we're going to assemble this so you can see how to assemble it. I mean, it's really basic, but just to make sure that you aren't confused. So let's start with this piece and these two pieces. Now, this piece, you're going to have to align the hole here with the rail. So that'll slide in here. You can orient it this way, or you can orient it this way, although if you orient it this way, then there isn't a piece of rubber here to protect your card. So better off to do it like this, unless you need to do it the other way. And then you're going to take this, put it on the rail like that, and you're going to take one of these long ones, well, relatively speaking anyways, and you're going to screw it in, and it's ready to go. Now, the nice thing about this is, since this is a long slide, you can actually move this, both in that respect, to adjust for the size of your graphics card, and also to move the whole thing as far as the bottom if you need to, so that you can adjust for the height you need to provide support for. So in this case, say for example, you just need to provide one piece of support, you can flip this around like this, and then you can screw it in this way. But, you know, if you've got two, and if they're going to fit, you might as well use both of them. Also, if you prefer, you can orient it so that the long one is on top, so to speak, and the short one is on the bottom. You do the same thing that way. Now, depending on how you orient it, that gives you some extra height. So with it like that, you get that much more height if, for example, you've got a really big case. If you do it the other way, maybe better for smaller cases, but again, you are restricted to the space that's available in your case. So this may be too tall. Just like this, we're looking at about 15 centimeters. And if we add that in, now we're looking at an additional 5.5 centimeters. So just keep that in mind. But it has flexibility. Now, as far as mounting this onto the base, now you will want to keep in mind the position that is going to be ideal for this. And hopefully you've got a power supply shroud that you can, with mounting holes in it for fans, that you can attach this to. That's going to make it a lot easier. And for this part, you're going to need the other two of the longer ones. You're going to take, I don't know why they didn't provide 4, but if you can get a hold of 4, that's better, because it provides more stability on the horizontal axis. So you can just screw this in wherever you need it to be. So there's one. And then you can screw the other one in. And once you've got them both on, you can tighten them up. Now, the reason I said you might want to get two more of these thumb screws is because that allows you to use two holes on each side so that this doesn't have the ability to change its orientation. So with only two, it can be off kilter like this, which may or may not be an advantage in your case. You can do it the other direction as well, but if you have enough screws, it'll be straight, as you can see. Of course, the other way to achieve that is to do what I just did without telling you, and that is that I slid it downward so that the end of the I don't know what you call the base of the stand is flush against both of these bolts. So it can't, can't turn unless I go like that or like that. But just like that, now it's basically square to the base. Now, to attach the base to the power supply shroud or the bottom of your case, if that's the case, did you see that? I was very clever, wasn't I? You're going to need to use the two flat ones. And so that's what these are for. These are for, you would screw this into your motherboard, or not motherboard, the bottom of your case. Okay, and then you can slide it so that you can optimize exactly where you want it to be before you tighten down these screws. So it really provides a great deal of versatility in terms of height, in terms of thickness of the card, in terms of positioning. The only potential downside is if there are fans underneath your graphics card. Well, this is not going to be, it's going to be stable, which is great, but it's also going to block some of the airflow, which not great. So you're going to have to consider if this is the type of anti-sag device that you need for your computer or not. So what do you think? I mean, have I missed anything about this? If you have any questions, please go ahead and put them in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.
I need to ask for your help. Things have been challenging. Whose life hasn't been challenging lately? So if you can please help me out by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and turning on notifications, that would be really, really super. Also, if you'd like to help me financially and you can't afford to, you can do a super thanks on my Glenn's Fast Reviews channel, or you can become a member there. Or if you prefer, you can go to patreon.com/GLENNMII and become a member there instead. Also, I'd like to give a shout out to Bleeping Computer for their support of my channel. If you need resources for computers, for getting rid of malware and learning about cybersecurity and stuff, Bleeping Computer, BLEEPING computer.com is a great resource. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.